What's up everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Today's project is this Honda lawnmower, and the problem is that it starts, but it doesn't run very well and it doesn't have a lot of power. Let's take a good look at it, find out what's wrong with it, and hopefully we can fix it. In this video, we try and repair this mower. However, it may not be the exact repair you need to make to yours. We'll explore other options later in the video. Honda mowers are one of my favorite mowers. I think their build quality is fantastic, and the best part in my opinion is the quality of the cut. However, like I've stated in previous videos, I do believe you get what you pay for, but you can still damage a high quality machine by not maintaining it, and I'm pretty sure that's the situation here. Once we fix the problem, I want to get it ready for the mowing season. The first thing I want to do is check the condition of the engine oil, and it looks pretty dirty, so we definitely need to change it. Next, I'll wipe off the dipstick and check its level. And the good news is it's at the right level, but the bad news is that maintaining dirty oil at the right level is almost as harmful as running it slightly low. Now, dirty oil can damage piston rings and cause low compression, which can lead to a no-start condition someday. Now, if we look in the gas tank, we can see there's still some in there, but it's probably from last season. We'll see if it'll start on it. Next, I want to check on the air filter's condition, and I will say that looks can be very deceiving. The filter isn't packed with grass, but it looks to be dirt instead. This could cause the engine to pull more gas from the carburetor because it's not able to draw as much air as it's supposed to, so we definitely need to change that as well. I'll replace the air filter and turn on the fuel valve, and then we'll try starting to see what it does and doesn't do. As you just saw, it took several pulls to get it to start, which is probably the old gas, but we also had a lot of black smoke coming from the muffler. It also blew out smoke when we adjusted the throttle speed, which it's not supposed to do. Now, this happens when there's too much fuel getting into the engine, and it's probably from the dirty air filter, but it could also be from a spark plug issue as well. I want to see if it still smokes if I remove the air filter for another test run. So it was still difficult to start, but once it did, it didn't blow any black smoke out of the muffler, so it looks like we took care of that issue for the most part. However, it's still running a bit rough. Next, I want to drain the gas out of the tank and check its condition. In my opinion, fresh gas looks like vegetable oil, and as it gets older, it looks more like apple juice, and if it's really old, it looks more like apple cider vinegar, and at that point, it doesn't smell like gas either. Now, the color tells me that there is some age to this gas, but it's not much. However, the fact that it's cloudy is the most interesting part. It could be water in the gas, so the next thing I want to do is remove the carburetor and inspect it as well. At the same time, we can remove any water that might be inside it. Now, a good reason why the gas was cloudy could be from the mixing of gas and water in the tank due to engine vibrations while it was running. After getting the gas out of the carburetor bowl, I don't see any water pooling on the gas, but what I do see are sediments at the bottom of the bowl. I'm not sure what it is, but if I had to guess, it's what's left over of the gas from the previous season because it looks like the white residue around the gas cap on the tank. Next, I want to remove the fuel jet and the emulsion tube out of the carburetor to inspect them. So I finally got the jet out, and it's not clogged as you can kind of see through it, but I'm sure there's still some gas in there. I'll clean it out here in a bit after I get the emulsion tube out as well. So I just blew some air into the jet and it's definitely not clogged. However, if you want to, you can still run a small diameter wire through it just to make sure there isn't any buildup. I'll also check to make sure that all the holes in the emulsion tube are also clear, and it looks like they are. So next I want to check a very small jet on top of the carburetor. You'll have to remove the idle set screw first, and before you remove it, turn it clockwise until it stops and count how many turns it took. That way when you reinstall it, you can put it back the way you found it. So the jet is underneath this bolt, and once removed, we need to check and make sure that it's not clogged. Unfortunately, the hole in the jet is extremely small, so we'll have to use a micro-sized drill bit to make sure it's clear. And as you can see, it slides in, which means it's definitely clear. I was pretty certain that this carburetor was in working condition, but it doesn't hurt to check, especially since we had to open it and inspect it for water and sediments. Now that we know that everything is clean and in working order, I'll put the carburetor back together. If you find pitting in either the body of the carburetor or have difficulty removing the brass jet because of corrosion, I would consider replacing the carburetor with an affordable aftermarket one instead. Once we get the carburetor back together in one piece, I want to remove and inspect the spark plug because an engine that has too much fuel getting to it can foul out the spark plug, so it's worth a look. Now this spark plug looks like it was recently replaced, but as you can see, the tip of the spark plug is completely black with carbon from too much fuel. Now you could replace it, but I think I'll try and clean it instead. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just a bit dirty with carbon. Now you could just use a wire brush and get most of the carbon off, but I think I'll use a torch first and then use a wire brush. As you can see, it looks a whole lot better now. I'll reinstall it back on the engine. Then I want to tip the mower over on its side so I can do an oil change. This will also give me an opportunity to remove the blades, inspect them, and then sharpen them. So there's only one small nick in the blades, but overall it's in good shape, just a bit dull. I'll then remove both blades and then put a new edge on it. Now I don't normally do any serious grinding when I sharpen my blades. I just put a sharp edge back on the blade and reinstall them. Now if they're really badly damaged that requires some serious grinding, I'll probably just replace them instead. Also, take care when replacing the engine oil. Make sure you don't thread the dipstick back into the engine, just press it against the threads and then take the measurement from there. The oil just has to be in the marked area of the dipstick. If you're a little bit over, that's okay, but anything more than 1/4 of an inch over the top mark, I would probably consider tipping the mower over to drain a few ounces out. It's now finally time to reinstall the carburetor back onto the engine. This part can be very tricky as there are several items that need to line up when you stab the airbox back onto the engine. There's an isolator located between the carburetor and the engine along with gaskets, so it can be very aggravating. And lastly, don't forget to connect the emissions hose back on the back of the airbox, otherwise the engine will draw in unfiltered air into the engine, which can destroy the piston rings. Now, another reason why this engine could be running poorly is a valve lash issue. The valve lash is the clearance between the top of the valve stem or the tappet and the rocker arm assembly. Over time, the clearance could get wider or tighter and make the engine hard to start and or run poorly. So it seems like the fouled spark plug, old gas, and the dirty air filter were the main reasons for it smoking and running poorly. Now I did reuse the old filter, but that's so I could do this test run. I do plan on replacing it in the next video as we still have a few more things to do to get this mower ready for the mowing season. As I mentioned earlier about the valve lash, I plan on checking it on this mower because more than likely it's never been done. I also want to confirm the health of this engine by doing a compression test. So my question is, how often do you maintain your lawnmower? Once a year or just whenever it needs it? For me, I always change the oil once a year, and I change it twice if the mowing season is longer than normal. I also check the spark plug and air filter once a year just to make sure there's nothing wrong with them. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask me any questions, and I hope to see you in the next video.